Hey, y'all. It is Dr. Shanae of SP Consulting Group, your organizational development psychologist and, business and executive wellness coach and all things extraordinaire transformation. I feel like I say my introduction like different every single time, but I came on here real quick before I went to get into bed because I was just thinking about this like, oh man, I forgot I was supposed to get on here. I've been trying to be a little bit more consistent, like baby steps, small steps lead to the big steps. I was trying to get on here earlier, but last minute I decided to do some changes that's going to be towards my challenge, my mental detox challenge that is next week starting Monday. Of course, it's a shameless plug because like why not? Anyway, let me have it running at the bottom on the banner. Click like share, click like share. No, really, y'all, what you all are seeing is tired. I woke up early, and I mean early, after going to bed late, and I mean late. And the reason for all of that was as I'm preparing for this challenge that's coming up, the 2021 Mental Detox 5-Day Challenge. I'm wanting to, last minute, I decided that I wanted to give a little bit more like freebies and stuff. So, got to create them. They don't just come out of nowhere. But shout out to all of the professionals, coaches, therapists that create your own stuff. Okay? Because it takes time. And you got to put some thought into it just from your expertise and your experience and what people have been saying. But today, before I have a quick lay down, because I need to lay down and reboot to be ready for my evening clients. But before I do that, I wanted to get on here really quick because I wanted to make a point to talk about how there's always this elephant in the room in regards to leaders. Like there's a lot of different elephants. Let me just put that out there. There's a lot of different elephants. But the elephant in the room that I'm talking about is the human that's behind the title, the role, the authority that you may have given them or reverenced out of respect to their title and role. But ultimately, I wanted to let you guys in on something. And it's specifically as another perspective. I always love to offer different perspectives. I'm never 100% right for every situation, everybody, everything. But a lot of times I do this. It was, wellness watch for leaders for quite some time. But either way, I wanted to start focusing in on the people that really need help. And when we have this title of really paying attention to the elephant in the room and addressing what everybody knows, but then you don't address actually, is that there's this human behind the person leading. And not all the time is that leader in a place where they can verbalize what it is that's going on with them, the support they need, or the bandwidth that they have or don't have in any given moment. We just always have to be on. And sometimes being on all the time, whether it's in a workplace, and I don't know if you are still, working from home, if you've had to go back, if you never left, regardless of where your workspace is, I want you to look at a couple of perspectives. So for the person that is leading, I want you guys to remember that you're human. That's a part of wellness. That's a part of making sure that you can go the long haul, that you can really expand your reach. Many times we get into this place where it's training after training, professional development after professional development, and do more, when you have to keep in mind that you're human and you have to rest. I had mentioned just a few seconds ago that I'm about to lay down. I need to lay down. Sometimes you need to sit down, or as some folks say, sat down. Okay, have a few seats. Okay, and you need to do that because you are a human being. Okay, and I'm about to say it another way. And I was telling somebody this the other day. We are spiritual beings having a natural experience. If you follow me. Some of you know exactly how that statement is, but like I said, disclaimer, your girl is tired over here. But I want you to keep in mind that you need to take breaks. I want you to keep in mind that you can't just keep going and keep going and keep going, because what you may not realize, and I found myself telling people a lot of this past 6 months that we've been here in 2021. I found myself saying to a lot of people over and over again how when it's all said and done, we have been going and going and going. And when you think of stress becoming compounded stressors, then we're now at the point where we're causing self-harm to ourselves by not making sure that we get a reboot, or that we get an opportunity to refresh, reset, refuel through efforts of self-care on purpose, not just talking about it, not just being around and in that space and loving the idea that you are health conscious. No, taking the time to actually be in a space where you can take a break when you need it, when you actually need to eat right, when you need to fast. Sometimes fasting, whether it's for spiritual reasons or health reasons, in either way is a matter of a purge. It's a purging. It's a cleansing. It's a coming to a point of grounding, actually, of where you are, what you need, what counts. And I have been doing some inner work as it pertains to gratitude, just being okay with where you are and not always having to add. Now, it is different when you're just, say there's different ideas, and maybe it's a part of your job and how you do things to be a serial entrepreneur, or you're someone that you're in a creative space where you have to continue to push the envelope. That's different. That's not what we're talking about. What I'm talking about is actually what I found myself doing for quite some time, to be frank, which is instead of offloading and taking care of myself, my whole self, mind, body, spirit, I would get busier and busier, look for more and more to feel a sense of satisfaction, when the only reason why I was feeling dissatisfied was that I was so stressed and heavy from everything in life. Instead of allowing myself to sort of offset, I tell a lot of my clients to start off with a brain dump. Some people, it's just a spiritual dump. What do you believe? What have you been doing as far as spiritual and or religious practices? Get into that space where you are balanced, because when you are dealing with compounding stressors, and compounding stressors can definitely come from even this, what we've been dealing with in this pandemic, all the changes you've had to make, it gets to the point where it's impacting your prefrontal cortex. So when you're talking about problem solving, being creative, being strategic about anything, all of the things that usually are required of you when it comes down to business acumen and professional, knowledge, skills, and abilities, it may be in that space where when it's all said and done, you need to take a step back and do some offloading. And it just so happens that usually around the time that I'm saying, hey, it's time for another, and this is just the second running of the mental detox 5-day challenge is because I've been noticing myself. I've been noticing the trends, and I know I'm not the only one that, okay, you get going, you get some hope, you get some energy, and then a bunch of series of things happen that lead you to a place where you're like, oh my goodness, like what in the world? So either way, take that time out because you're human. Yes, we know this, like, of course, but at the same time, you then have to then acknowledge and respect what it is that you need to thrive, what it is that you need to survive, and what you need to enhance your quality of life. A lot of times I speak as it pertains to and in the context of work-life balance. And this is why, because there is no way, and we found this out this year, there is no way for you to say, well, I'm going to leave work at work, home at home, don't let the two men. You are still the person in the middle. So depending on how much you have going on, depending on how little you have going on, that you're just like, I need to have more meaning in my life. I need to at least figure out what my purpose is. Do that. Dig, attend to your needs so that you can reach a place of balance. On the other end, for those that have those that you look up to for being in that leadership capacity, whether it's a mentor, whether it's a supervisor, a chief, the owner of the company you work for, whoever it is that you look up to in that leadership capacity, think about who they are as a person. You may want to every now and then, especially because of how many stressors we've been having back to back to back. Like, this is not over. There are still people dying from COVID. There are still people dealing with other just illnesses that's been around for forever and ever, and different things going on. There's still a lot of loss. There's still a lot of change. There's still a lot of opportunities, right? So don't discount what your leader should know, what they should be doing, because it's also a matter of acknowledging that if your leader, the person that is in a leadership position, if it's not you, is not attending to their mind, body, and spiritual health, they may be in a place where they can't be extra creative as they may have once been. They may not be connected. They may not connect as quickly as you think. But then for you to have some grace, show some compassion for stressors from the human experience, then a lot of people would do a lot better and have less discord within the workplace. And these are things to consider and keep in mind and have the perspective of, even as it pertains to team development, as it pertains to family life. How is it that you're relating to those that are in a leadership role? If someone isn't in the space where they have acknowledged that, yes, they remain the human in the midst of all the stressors, in the midst of any traumas, possibly, you never know. And you may not feel that you have the connection or the relationship with someone that is in a leadership position for you to then say, hey, well, how are you doing? And then ask again when they tell you the blanket, yes, I'm fine, when they're not, or maybe they just don't want to tell you, but really just say, are you really okay? Like, really ask again and show your concern, lead with your heart. And that's the biggest thing about it. You have to tap into that human experience. You just have to. It's not something that you can ignore. So when it comes down to the elephant in the room, the secret, like, oh, well, they're supposed to, let's, put judgment aside and realize that we are all human beings trying to make it through this life. And we deal with it different. We process it different. We interpret it differently. And if you are in need of help, again, you can always reach out. You can always, follow the link in my bio as it pertains to scheduling. You can go to the website, www.officialspcg.com, and you can request to just have a consultation to really explore, how can I have more balance as someone that is trying to balance work and life? Whether it's I'm dealing with stressors, whether it's I don't feel that I'm being as impactful, I don't feel that I am seeing the transformation that I thought that I would. Whatever it is, you want to be able to be in a place where you act on it. The worst thing that you can do is not do anything and then assume that what you've been doing before that has basically perpetuated the existence of it and the cycling of it, that doing those same things are going to yield some different results, right? That's not how it works. If you need help, if you need a coach, I can help with that. I've been through that situation before, and I want you to be able to get to a place where you are operating at your full potential. I don't do fluff. I really believe in being very clear on what it is that you need to do. I'm like so grateful for my clients. I got some great feedback. She said that, she was going to do, some sort of review in regards to it, but it wasn't about that. It was the fact that she started off unsure of if she even needed a 6-month program, right? And I said, that's sort of the minimum because of what I know about change, what I know about habit formation as a clinician, what I know about, moving beyond your stuck points, moving beyond the intellectualization of things that you just need to just act on, right? And so she said to me that she basically went from not believing that she was going to need a full 6 months to now that we've met at the point of 6 months, how much she has learned, how stable she feels and what she's attained. And that's where we want you to be. Whether it's myself, whether it's you already have one, really push yourself to have an accountability partner. That's ultimately what it is. An accountability partner that knows the human experience and someone that also is able to incorporate that human experience across your life, mind, body, spirit, work life, home life, you being in a place where you are growing. So you guys take care. I've obviously reached my threshold of talking because now my throat's dry. But either way, you guys can definitely, if you're interested, we still have slots available to register for the Mental Detox 5-Day Challenge that is brought to you by the Pursuit of Peace podcast that I produce. So get in there, get yourself together, make sure you take time out for yourself, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Oh, and make sure that if you want to catch these or, catch these live and be able to submit comments or anything like that, please feel free. Feel free to follow, whatever it is that you have to do. I don't really know, but click like, share, all of that, so that then you get notifications of when I go live. Okay. All right. Till next time, you guys take care. I hope that I said something that can feed either yourself, can feed someone in need, any gold nuggets out of it. Take what you need, leave the rest for somebody else. All right. You guys take care. Again, this is Dr. Shanae of SP Consulting Group. And I hope to see y'all on Monday. Okay. Bye.